Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 10th of March. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director at Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have Westpac, Gold Road, CSL, Firefinch and Norwest Energy. So if you have any requests, please send them through. Make sure you're receiving the free newsletter every Thursday, but if you'd like our better ideas, you do need to get the Dynamic Investor Report that comes out every Tuesday. If you do enjoy these videos though, we'd love you to share them on social media or even leave us a review. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Our main business is portfolio management, so if you think now's the time to get my direct advice in terms of what you should be buying or selling, then please let me know and we can open up a broking account. And all the advice here is general only. So this is the daily chart of Westpac, but let me pull up a monthly chart to put in perspective. As we could see, it's been downtrending since 2015. So a very clear line there. And it's basically trading at nearly half of where it was several years ago. So we need to keep that in mind in terms of perspective. It's still making lower highs. If we move to the daily, I mean this sort of rally that we saw, this bounce, I guess was a good sign. There was good volume, but we could see that it sort of stopped short here at resistance with a little double top. That's fine. Ideally, it should have held in a lot better, but instead it has been falling back pretty sharply. So, that deep pullback just means we can't get too bullish here, and I think the risk is still to the downside here with Westpac. I'd rather be in CBA. Westpac's just not performing. Okay, Gold Road. So nice sort of breakout here. So we had this sort of consolidation here. And obviously once it sort of broke through that clear line, that was the buy signal. And then as we could see, it kicked on. So nice follow through. It took out this high from last year. Very sort of impulsive move here now. Obviously good volume, maybe a little bit overbought in the short term. So we may see, potentially a pullback to retest, maybe retest this old high. So I think if you're looking to buy it, you couldn't buy it at the top up here. You'd have to, if we get a bit of a retest and a bounce off this level, then there'd be an opportunity because you could run a tight stop and then you'd be eyeing off the high from a couple of years back at around $2. CSL, so if we go to weekly chart, we could see that it's essentially this is a downtrend. I mean, it's fairly flat, but it's been doing that for the last 2 years. Even most recently, it's tried to bounce off that level. So look, I mean, looking at this overall, we could say, well, this is just a big flag formation against a longer term uptrend, which is a positive. But yeah, at the moment, it's not really, getting on with it. I mean, it did bounce off the bottom area here, support, but it's not following through. It's just falling back again. So it just, at the moment, it does look like it's going to drift. Obviously, a break under here would be a negative. Otherwise, if we get a proper bounce again and some follow through, potentially a buy, and then the safer buy would be if it can get out of this range and break to the upside here, then you would have a significant rally. Okay, Firefinch. So we've got, when I look at this chart, to me it looks like AKE, which is another lithium stock. I mean, almost identical sort of charts where they've got this sort of clear clear line of resistance here that it sort of briefly went above and back under, but also generally, higher lows, tightening of the range. So resistance just above 70 cents. Last few days, it does look like it's trying to break through. So it tried to get to a new high, just eased back a little bit, and then sort of kicked on yesterday. So to me, this actually looks like a tentative buying opportunity. It looks like it's trying to get out of this range and get on with it. Okay, Norwest Energy. So this one also looks like it wants to rally. So we've got, when I see this straight away, I see a cup and handle. So we've got this sort of cup handle. So basically pull back, rally to test the old high. Instead of getting smashed back down with sellers, it's obviously encountered some selling, but it's managed to hold on. So there's a very clear sort of line there. Even if you thereabouts, sort of at 3.4, 3.5 cents. It's a nice sort of cup and handle break yesterday. Good volume on the break. So it should pretty much, odds are that it does kick on here. If it wants to consolidate, it should be a fairly flat sort of consolidation here. Of course, if it dips back into this range, then that's a failed breakout, but the odds favour a further move to the upside. Okay, that's all for this week. As always, if you have a request, send it through and I'll look at it next Thursday.